Hi there, and welcome to another devlog for New Eden. If this is your first time checking us out, New Eden is a 2D Souls-like MMORPG featuring intense action combat, thoroughly fleshed out storytelling, and incredible artwork and animations. If that piques your interest at all, you can actually play the game with your friends right now by heading to our website or our Discord server, both of which have been linked in the description below. The game is free, so give it a shot and let us know what you think. So, it's been an amazing week for New Eden. The jaw-dropping amount of support we've gotten is really just awe-inspiring, and we can't thank you enough. For those that perhaps aren't aware, we actually received a huge shout-out from Iron Pineapple's YouTube series, Souls-like You've Never Heard Of. If for some reason you don't know who Iron Pineapple is, we've linked his channel in this video's description. He's a solid guy who consistently delivers thoroughly entertaining content, and we couldn't be happier to hear that he enjoyed the game this far. If you're a fan of his, we've actually got a special treat for you in the form of an in-game vanity item. You can collect a few Christmas ornaments from around the map to cash in for the Iron Pineapple Cloak. The cloak features a great little decal of, well, an Iron Pineapple. And that actually brings us to the meat of this devlog, our Christmas event and the enormous surge of players and support Iron Pineapple's video has brought us. With Pineapple's generous spotlight and review of the game in its current state, we've received an enormous boost of players over the last week. Nearly 10,000 new accounts have been made across our North American and European servers, and we've hit some of our highest CCU player counts to date, even rising above 105 players on our North American server. Now obviously this is huge for our team, as it allowed us to find and fix several drastic bugs that would have absolutely killed the game if we had launched with them in place. We of course apologize for the lag and other issues players were experiencing in those first couple days, but please rest assured that you guys have directly contributed to this game's future success. On that note, let's talk about some of what we've done to fix those issues. First off, we've upgraded the hardware in our North American server. What before was a piddly testing server, we've replaced with a beefier release-style server. Not only that, but because of all of our wonderful new players, we've managed to track down and fix a litany of large bugs regarding our networking systems, and this in turn has led to lower ping numbers for our players. Now you may be wondering, why didn't we upgrade our EU server as well? The simple answer is that the EU server actually was already pretty beefy, and it was prepared enough for the influx of players, for the most part, though we may be changing its location before long. It's currently stationed in the UK, but we may be moving it towards a more central EU location such as Germany soon. So let's talk about that Christmas event. While we absolutely love doing events for holidays and special occasions, we definitely do not want to eat up too much dev time on these little extra pieces of content. If you played the game during the last week, you may have noticed that we're actually still working on some of the core features that are expected of an MMORPG. So when we can, we like to overlap development of these features with features we want to have in our events. This Christmas event mostly boiled down to defeating enemies and bosses and collecting Christmas ornaments. These ornaments could then be turned in for some cosmetics in the event merchant's shop. Most notably of these vanity items is the aura effect giving snow-covered ring. When you equip this ring in game, you'll have your own personal snowfall follow you around at all times. This is utilizing our new equipment effects system that can be used for vanity items or just regular equipment. We'll be expanding upon the system in the future as well. Next up, we have some new additions in terms of combat effects. In your exploration of the garden, you may have run into these pesky elves.
Hey you! That's all you've got? Weak. Hiya! Take this! That hurt! That hurt! Take this! That's all you've got? Weak.
As you can see, or rather, hear, we've implemented a new combat dialogue system. Enemies can now throw stingers, death rattles, aggro lines, and more, all while continuing combat as normal. Look forward to this system being utilized more, especially with some upcoming boss fights. Finally, we have some new developer options when it comes to making spells. If you've ever played League of Legends or games in a similar genre, you may be aware of the ability to quickcast your skills. This refers to the absence of the secondary input required of the player when they hit a skill button. For New Eden, we can now utilize this feature on a number of spells, allowing players to sling out spells in a faster paced manner. At the moment, this is a developer set option while we create spells. In the future, however, we'd like to allow any spell to be quickcast by players if they want to. This is just another step we'd like to take in allowing players to customize their combat experience. We're nearing the end of this devlog. Most of this week has been frantically patching bugs and developing quality of life changes that you'll all hopefully be seeing soon. I know in our last video update I mentioned that next patch we'd be seeing a new dungeon and a ton of new stuff. This is still largely true in that our next big push is to release a new dungeon with a new boss and lots of new mechanics, but with the huge rush of players we had to prioritize the game's stability first. Before we go, we actually want to give a huge thank you to our, at the time of this recording, 81 patrons. You're all absolutely amazing and we couldn't be more thankful for your support of New Eden. In case you haven't seen it yet, every patch we're updating our credits tab in the main menu to include every single one of you. As a collective, you have made development of New Eden far less stressful, and it's truly heartwarming to see this support for our game. We won't let you down. Last but not least, we want to pay our good fortune forward a bit by shining a light on some indie games you might not be aware of. This week, we want to showcase a little game called Middle Ages Online. It's an indie MMO being created by a single guy who's a friend of Wonderwolf's, and he's been doing just splendidly with it. If you have some time to kill or are just waiting for New Eden's next update, maybe give this one a shot. We'll include the link to the game's website in the description below. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't yet, definitely give the game a try with your friends. We hope you enjoy. Until next time, this is Jaden with Wanderwolf Studios, signing off.